Hi folks, we're back at Salute 2019 and I'm at the Warlord stand with Paul, who some people may recognise if they've been in the hobby long enough from other places. And we're going to be talking about some of the upcoming releases from Warlord games over the rest of the year, is it? Or
Yeah, we've got lots of stuff here. Most of it's for the rest of the year, but we've also got stuff coming out into the new year as well. So we plan a long way in advance.
Excellent stuff. So I want to start with the books because I'm keen on these. Very keen on these. So we've got 2 for Bolt Action.
Yeah, absolutely. We've got the next book coming through is D-Day. It's just gone up on pre-order. So the D-Day project's going to cover 3 books. So the first one is the airborne assaults and the landings on the day itself. Yep. And then the second 2 will focus on the Anglo-Canadian sector and the American sector as they start to break out from the beachhead. Yep. So this has been written by Rob Vella, and has been many months in the planning.
Can we have a wee flick through?
Oh yeah, go for it. Yeah.
So the thing that's fascinated me is obviously it's the 75th anniversary of the landings this year, so it's an ideal time to do it.
Yeah,
but
it's been released in June.
Yeah, it makes sense. But being able to go through and have those, because they were even though it was part of the one operation, it was a very individual and unique scenarios for each of the different parts of the force involved. So apart from D-Day, then you also have Korea.
Yes, it's something that when we first started Warlord, we wanted to do World War II, with it being a very popular area. It's something that I'm madly passionate about. And both myself and John Stallard have been talking about what would you do next. I mean, we've been asked about Vietnam and Arab-Israeli and all, but really Korea is the one we wanted to do for 2 reasons. One, it's kind of World War II plus. Yeah. You can still utilise a lot of the miniatures and the equipment from Bolt Action games, particularly the Americans and the British. Yeah. And it's also not been done. It's the forgotten.
It's the Forgotten War, yeah.
The Forgotten War game for sure.
Yeah.
So aside from getting the book written, we've been working on a huge number of miniatures, of which we've got loads here today. We've got loads more coming through. So if you look there, we've got the Centurion tank for the British and a British squad in summer uniform. In front of those, a MASH unit. To their left, we've got Chinese People's Volunteer Army, Americans on the other side, and on the shelf below, we've got stacks and stacks of North Korean KPA. And this is the tip of the iceberg. We've got so much more stuff coming through for it.
It's fascinating. Like you said, it really is World War 2.5 because a lot of the late war things, especially things like the Pershings that people love, never really got a run out in World War II, but they really were utilised when they hit Korea.
Absolutely. And the pattern, utilising things that were in World War II as well. So we've got the M39 utility vehicle, which saw action in the later years of the World War II. And obviously the Centurion, which is just a lovely looking tank. And nice to be able to field that rather than in what ifs for World War II.
So moving aside from World War II then, obviously there's an awful lot of stuff I see lurking in that case. Stuff from Hail Caesar, stuff from Doctor Who, and Pike and Shot as well. So do you want to...
Stuff for everybody really. I mean, if I'll just work my way through the cabinets. On the bottom shelf down there, as you say, we've got Pike and Shot and Hail Caesar. So we've got Seleucid cataphracts, armoured cavalry. We've got more and more miniatures being released for the range we bought from Saxon Miniatures. So Arthurians, Saxons, Vikings, there's lots more stuff coming through from Colin Patton, who sold us the range.
I was really excited to see when Colin put himself up for sale, essentially, that you picked him up, because it wasn't a case that he didn't want to do the stuff, he just couldn't manage all the sides of it, and being freed up from that side to let him actually get back to sculpting has been a joy, because I have a massive set of his Vikings already, so you know.
We've got lots more coming through for the existing ranges. We've already commissioned new ranges as well, so we plan on keeping Colin busy for some time.
That's always good to hear. So above we have Doctor Who with some Imperial Daleks.
Yeah, Imperial Daleks. So our Doctor Who range is growing nicely. We've got the next few months releases in here. So you've got the classic unit from the 70s, 80s. We've got the Imperial Daleks, as you say, with the Emperor Davros.
Yeah.
The Web of Fear set with the Yetis. Gallifreyan Guards are the next things out from Hellbent. And a whole load more, including the second Doctor. Yeah. And just more and more stuff that we couldn't fit into the cabinet. So
it's always the way. You're always limited with what sort of room you have. It's really great to see a unit here because Colonel Lethbridge Stewart is just fantastic. That gargoyle there, 5 rounds rapid.
Two of them.
Do you have the elderly Lethbridge Stewart from later on?
Yeah, we've got him in his classic, as you say, five rounds rapid. And we've also got him before he became the Brigadier when he was a Colonel in Web of Fear. Yeah. And the plan is that we probably do at least a couple more iterations of the Brig, because we all love him, don't we?
Anybody who's a Who fan loves the Brigadier. Up here, it looks like Williamite from behind, but
right, this is the French-Indian War. So
of course, yeah.
We've got Pete Brown who wrote the book. I just drag this across. This is the draft layout of the book, which, A Dark and Bloody Ground by Pete Brown, who's done a lot of work with us, a big friend of Warlord. As you can see, it's a glorious book, and those are stacks of new miniatures, of which there is only a fraction of what we're going to be releasing. So Colonial Provincials, we've got British Light Infantry, Rogers Rangers, British characters, Montcalm, Highlanders, you name it, we're making it.
Which is always excellent. And then right at the top, I see British Colonials, and then above them, there are some more Germans, but let's talk about the British Colonials first, because I may be a bit of a fan of Rorke's Drift myself, if anybody's ever seen me.
Well, that is exactly what they're for. Yeah. We had our Rorke's Drift set out when we had a partnership with Empress Miniatures. Yeah. And when that agreement ended, we always intended to bring it back with new sculpts, and these are they. So you'll get loads and loads of new metal figures. We'll re-release Rorke's Drift. And the bigger Horns of the Buffalo set as well will be even more new metals, plus some that have never had miniatures made before.
So you might see a Durnford in there or that sort of thing?
Not for this set. There's a couple of surprises, and I won't spoil John's thunder because it's his passion. Well, yeah, it is. Yeah.
But he's responsible for a very large amount of my real estate at home being filled with Rorke's Drift from an article he did in War Games Illustrated many moons ago. So yeah, I don't want to get hit by him myself, so I wouldn't say any more. So right at the top then we have some World War II.
Hungarians. So we've obviously done Fortress Budapest recently, and this is a Hungarian squad in winter kit. So the quilted uniform, the great coat, Zelt Barn-esque camo, and we've got a lot more stuff coming through for the Hungarians. So we're really proud of that range in particular. Sculptor Matt's done a fantastic job on them.
I was really impressed. I haven't had a chance to get my hands on the Fortress Budapest book yet, but I want to, because it's a really unique siege, and that sort of going from the city and then into the actual fortress itself is just a beautiful way of being able to set up really nice scenarios.
The author Brian Cook is a massive aficionado on Hungary, and anybody who picks the book up will realise that. So the moment they look at the pictures, because he commissioned so much bespoke terrain from a fantastic terrain maker, Dennis Berwick, and it's a glorious thing to behold. So lots of people who perhaps weren't interested in Hungary are looking at that and going, oh, I've got to have some of that.
I seen a picture on the internet, and somebody had they'd taken a photograph of a plane crashed into a building and then had built it. Is that one of them?
Yeah.
Yeah, I need that in my life. Well, that's just a brief snapshot of what's going to be a very jam-packed year for Warlord.
Yes, yeah, absolutely. There's a lot more stuff that we haven't talked about, lots more stuff that we haven't shown, so I'd just keep looking at our email newsletter and our website, I'd say.
Well, I hope that's whetting your appetite, everyone. Now, it wouldn't be us if we weren't giving something away, and for this upcoming releases, we're actually going to be giving away a copy of Warlords of Erehwon from Rick. So if you want to be in a chance of winning that, comment below, tell us why Rorke's Drift is the best scenario to play in any miniatures war game ever, and we'll speak to you again soon.